Welcome to the new edition of the Afro VFX Meet. Today we meet a special guest, my very good friend, Rodolphe PIERRE-LOUIS. And then we're going to talk about action VFX. So I will be alongside with my friend, Eric. What's up, Eric?
Hello, guys. I'm excellent. Thank you. The sun is here. So, you know, when it's minus 10 and the sun is absent, it's not a good, a good time.
Okay. So actually, today we have a special guest.
Yes. Where is it? Where are you right now, Rodolphe?
I am in Johnson City, Tennessee, in the United States.
Okay. What about the weather?
All right, good. All right,
yeah,
good. So,
it is definitely not minus 10 degrees. I think it's about 60 degrees right now, which is really good. So
nice, Daddy.
All right, great. So, without further ado, I will introduce you. Rodolphe, can you please introduce yourself? Who you are, your career path. Who is Rodolphe PIERRE-LOUIS, the guy behind Action VFX?
Yes, so I try to keep this short because I can sometimes make a very long introduction, but the basics are my name is Rodolphe PIERRE-LOUIS, and yes, I'm the founder and CEO of Action VFX. So we are a visual effects stock footage company. So we create and provide different effects for VFX artists, VFX studios. Essentially, we help people create more realistic visual effects faster and cheaper than if they had to do everything from scratch. I remember when I was 10 years old, my dad got us a camera. So I'm originally from Haiti, so I should say that too. So I was living in Haiti at the time, and my dad got us a camera. And that's kind of what started my love for filmmaking and movies, and feeling like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to direct movies. And ended up moving to the United States when I was 12. And then I think around when I was 14, that's when I started seeing that, oh, I can learn visual effects on my home computer. Like, I don't need anything else. You know, they have, you know, software that I can use. I was using some software from FX Home way back in the days. And yeah, so that's kind of was my introduction to visual effects. I would essentially just watch things on YouTube and teach myself, do random tests, call friends over. Hey, you know, let's make a test. Let's get a green screen and try something. So that's just kind of how it got started and developed. And naturally, I've also always loved business. Like, I've been pretty entrepreneurial. So I think, you know, those two passions of mine, business and film, eventually they were going to meet up to create a business. So around when I was in college, that was in 2011, I had a YouTube channel. And in the YouTube channel, I would do VFX tutorials and, you know, teach people how to do different effects. So started building up an audience from that channel. And like most entrepreneurial minded person, I thought, hey, you know, I have an audience, you know, what could I sell to this audience? And the idea, of course, was, hey, it's going to be good to create different effects.
How old were you, Rodolphe? How old were you?
In 2011, I would have been around 19. So that was the idea to start, because I was a freelancer at that time. So I mainly did music videos for music bands and things like that. So I already had experience making effects for myself to use. So the idea was, what if I can make something for myself to use? Why not try to create stock effects that other people could use? And so that was my first experience. That's kind of how I got started with that. So released one effects pack and people started buying it. And I thought, hey, let's do another one, and then another one. And then eventually 5 years later, decided to upgrade everything into Action VFX and what it is now. So
I was a quick question thinking about your parents to say, okay, you are 19, you like to do this kind of business. Say directly, yes, go ahead, or is like something really new, and there maybe sometimes the parent is afraid to say, okay, go for this this way, better than that to go for
Yeah,
financial or stuff like this?
yeah, that's a great question. So I would say my parents always had a good balance of that because on one hand, yes, they are scared. They are Haitian parents. They don't know all this.
That's my real point,
Yeah, it's like they don't know all this effects, filmmaking stuff. So there was some of that, but they have always been very supportive. And like I know there's a lot of friends that I have where their parents are very, hey, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a lawyer. I feel like my parents never had that. They simply wanted me and my brother to be good at something. And I think over the years, because as I said, since I was little, I was always teaching myself stuff. So they saw that I cared a lot about it. And like I was, making excuses to not pursue other things. So they thought, okay, like he's doing his thing. So we'll kind of let him do it. So they didn't always understand, but they give me enough freedom to try things out. And, luckily everything worked out. So they're proud now.
Thank you to our parents. Didi?
I have a question, Rodolphe, because here, we are trying to start, develop talents, in Francophone Africa, especially in Cote d'Ivoire. And over there, we have a lot of self-taught people. We have few schools, no studios. What would you tell to a kid who dreams when he watches movies, Marvels and the Wakandas and everything? What would you tell a kid in Africa, in the country, in Cote d'Ivoire, and where? What would you tell him to allow him to dream and to dare to start?
Yeah, I would say the biggest advice I could give anyone that's interested in visual effects, film, or any art in general would be to just try to do as much as you can. Because it's one of those things where I do believe school can be very important, but at the same time, like if you go to school, but you never practice, you never try different things, you never experiment, then you're only gonna learn so much. And I feel in this day and age, like with YouTube and like there's so much information out there that let's say, hey, you couldn't afford to go to school or you didn't have a good visual effects school near you. Hey, YouTube is the best VFX school as far as I'm concerned, because you can practice with different software. Okay. Most software these days, they have, educational licenses that you can, download and start using for free. So I would always encourage anyone to do as much as you can and learn as much as you can, whether that's formal education or just reading books or watching videos, doing random experiments. But, the more you know how to do, the more, just you positioning yourself to be a lot more effective, bring a lot more value to different projects. So that's the big advice I would always give is, go do, try different things. And I mean, that's what I did. And that worked out really well for me, because by the time you do end up, going to college or having, that formal experience, you already know so much from just you yourself going out there. So that would be my main advice.
Right. We're starting a training program called Afro VFX. We started in March, and we want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us, and maybe become a partner, to help us use your footage for this training. There is one thing I will tell about the library. About the Afro VFX. There's a good part and a bad part. The good part is that it really helps us, to dream, to want to make great movie. It adds a lot of production value, etc. But the bad thing is that you always, because of Action VFX footage, They are so realistic. You always want to blow up things. You want to burn things. You want to make rain. You want to make the rain. You want to make earthquake. You know, with Eric, we'd be like, okay, what type of exercise we can make them? Okay, we want to make them burn set the Eiffel Tower on fire. Oh, yes. Because the footage are so realistic. And the good thing is that it's prepared. You have, you can fire on the window, a wide one, you can put fire on the ceiling. So, hey, you always want to blow up things,
Yeah. Yeah, first of all, thank you very much. Like, it's always good to hear that people appreciate the work that we do. And yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. Sometimes you have to force yourself to not do something just because you can, because it's like, oh, I can burn this building, so I'm gonna burn it. It's like you have to force yourself. No, I don't want to burn this building. I don't need to burn this building. But yeah, it's very fun to see that. A lot of people do come to our website and they just search the library and then they find ideas and then they go make something. So it's funny how that works, because sometimes people come because they're looking for something specific, and sometimes people come just for the inspiration to know what they should make. So,
talking about Action VFX, can you give us a little bit more? How many people working around you? You working with which big studio in US or internationally? And actually, what is your big dream with Action VFX?
Yeah, so all right, so 3 questions there. So currently, I would say we're about a team of 15 people. This picture right here is some of our team in Johnson City, Tennessee, where we are here, which everyone wasn't in that day. And then we also have other remote team members as well. So I don't know the exact number, but I would say it's around 15 people right now. And yeah, so we've definitely been very, very blessed in the sense of being able to work with some, of the bigger studios in the world. It's like Activision that makes, Call of Duty and all those, amazing video games, companies at Netflix. And I mean, it's just cool that basically most studios doing any great projects these days do use Action VFX in one shape or form, because as I said, what we do does end up saving them a lot of time in their processes, and time is money, which works. It's a win-win situation. So yeah. And what was the third question? Oh, what's the big dream?
Yeah, yes. Big dream. Is it a Tyler Perry dream? Is it a Rodolphe dream? What
it's like, picture? I mean, it's like the big Action VFX dream, if we're talking about Action VFX specifically, is of course, like, we do want to keep, growing the library. And like, I want Action VFX to be synonymous with, VFX assets, so that anyone, if you're making anything ever, like, you wouldn't even think about trying to go somewhere else to get your elements, because we would have everything, which we do have a lot right now, but there's still a lot more that we can do. And it's like, and we can do different types of assets. We do want to do 3D assets and, various things that help compositors essentially. So there's a lot of, bigger level things we want to do. Like I love our vision statement at Action VFX, and it is to be the one common driving force behind every compositor's career. So that's kind of what we're aiming to do. So someone, if they're a compositor, they want to do VFX, whether they're just starting or whether they're established professional working at a major studio, we want Action VFX to be the one link between, everyone from start to finish. So that's kind of what we're aiming towards. As far as my personal big dream is, yes, I definitely want to direct movies and definitely want to make movies, create big worlds. I have a lot of ideas, and, there will come a time when that will be the thing I focus on. But for the moment, action VFX is my main focus.
But you have fun. You have fun in your videos, because I see some promo videos from Action VFX. I saw you shooting some AK-47 sometimes.
Yeah, it's very cool. I do like to, you know, put on a suit and go shoot some guns. So yeah, I do enjoy that too.
What was your reaction when we contacted you, and when you saw Afro VFX? What was your reaction? What do you think about the opportunity to bring VFX expertise, VFX talent, and content creation in Africa?
Yeah, so I was on LinkedIn when, you know, you reached out to me, and it was definitely very, very refreshing, I would say, because I don't always hear like a lot of like much things happening in Africa, and especially in Francophone Africa, which was because I do speak a tiny bit of French, so I resonated with that too. And yeah, so it definitely was like, oh, okay, cool, because I do like the idea of, you know, film and visual effects reaching all parts of the world, you know, because as I was saying, I'm originally from Haiti, and you know, the quality of the movies that, you know, Haiti has produced over the years really hasn't been that high, right? And it's always been a dream of mine to think, okay, what if one day I could establish myself and then be able to go back and, you know, essentially give back some of the knowledge that I had learned, and, you know, try to essentially take us to the next level there. So once I saw what you guys were doing, that really, I kind of connected with that a bit. And so, hey, this is very cool, because, I mean, you know, I love visual effects. I'm Haitian. There's a lot going on in Africa as well. And the more people doing this, the more access there is to doing visual effects, I think the better. So that was very exciting for me, and really love seeing what you are doing.
Great. Thank you very much. So, Eric, do you have we could talk for hours, but we try to take it short. We invite everyone to go on actionvfx.com to see what you can. I often go there, you know, as you said, often I go there, I look at the footage, and ideas come, I'll be like, oh, okay, we can do that, oh, okay. And it helps us, you know, not be limited. And that's the difficulty that we have, that the talents, you know, the creators, the storytellers have, you know, in the African continent, that since they have some production limits, but we have so much stories, so much legends, so much tales, you know, to share to the world. So we love you. We love your work, and we're very thankful that you take the time to share your experience. And,
hey, no, thank you.
Eric, do you have a question for Rodolphe?
I'm afraid to open a new question, because we can stay a long time together. It's just like you say, Daddy, sometimes, you know, when you create your visual effects, it's more, I could say, like American, you know, explosion, etc. And on the continent, they have another kind of story, meaning in the water, or, you know, or the beach, you know, there are different kind of, you know, character, etc. So it's a another way to create, you know, the ambience or the area. It could be also ghost stories, etc. So it's a good challenge. We are really excited with Afro VFX to create the link with you, because we're sure we can, you know, rebuild the creativity. So that's why I would like to say, I encourage you to know for what you do, and also to open your mind and open your ears and your thought about what we can rebuild together to present another kind of show. But there's a lot of materials, so we think we can, you know, create something high, interesting, and a new narrative with African content and stories.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, so with the course that you guys have starting pretty soon, I do know we're giving away some assets that they can use. And yeah, that I'm really looking forward to seeing what all the students come up with and what they create, because that's always the most satisfying thing, is
well, you can be sure that
using the assets.
Yeah, you can be sure that some buildings will be set on fire.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you very much, Rodolphe. Merci beaucoup, mon ami. It was a pleasure to have this conversation with you.
No, this was great.
We invite everyone, to go on actionvfx.com. Us, Eric and I, were starting the Afro VFX training in Côte d'Ivoire, and we are very happy and thankful to partner with Action VFX to provide the footage for the students. And we're working on short films, so we really want to make sure that we respect the work that has been done with Action VFX. I know that you started Action VFX through a crowdfunding campaign, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that means that with the Kickstarter, so that means that professionals endorse you from the top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it was very cool to see that, like how many people believed in what we were trying to do, because yeah, they supported us to make it happen, which was very, very cool.
Merci beaucoup. We keep in touch, and long live Action VFX and long live Afro VFX.
Hey, no, thank you once again. Thank you for having me. Have a great rest of your day.